Miss Rebels have now laid claim to the Egg Bowl trophy for the third straight year. All the highlights of Saturday's win over Mississippi State up next on the Billy Brewer Show. Hello everybody, I'm Ken Anderson and welcome to the Billy Brewer Show, the Ole Miss Rebels against the Mississippi State Bulldogs. Saturday in Jackson, it was the 1985 battle for the Egg Bowl trophy. Ole Miss was the underdog going into this year's game, but the Rebels put together possibly their best game of the year, most balanced, good offense, good defense together, and came away with a 45-27 win. So that keeps Rebel head coach Billy Brewer undefeated against Mississippi State as an Ole Miss player and an Ole Miss coach. Superstition possibly having played a large part in that record.
I think so, and I've been superstitious really all my life as a football player on every league. Even when I was at Ole Miss as a player, I had I never could eat a pregame meal. I always would go slip off and go get me a hamburger. I was really too nervous to do that. And Wes Knight, our trainer, you know, he would always really get upset with me. You eat that old junk food and all that stuff. I'd take my ankles and my arches would start hurting in pregame warm-ups. I'd take my shoes off. And, well, I went through all kind of little quirks. And today, you know, I found 2 pennies and I went to a different place to eat breakfast today and by myself. You know, I got up early this morning, so I just kind of stayed out of the way of it, and you really changed a lot of routine. I don't know where it has anything to do with it or not, but it turned out to be a very fine day.
Now we've got a lot of highlights to show you. Ole Miss against Mississippi State. We'll get right to it up next on the Billy Brewer Show.
The Billy Brewer Show is brought to you by Coca-Cola, Bryan Foods, Borden Dairy Products, and Mississippi Chemical.
Brought to you locally by McCarty Holman, Deerfield Country Club, Pro Golf, Ridley's Barbecue, Lennox, Pioneer Chainsaws, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Gunnery's Restaurant.
In recent years, most Ole Miss Mississippi State games have been played in cloudy, rainy, and cold weather, but Saturday's 82nd meeting couldn't have been much prettier. Ole Miss got the ball first, and a surprise starter at quarterback sophomore David McKinney at the helm. First play, the sophomore lobs the screen pass out to Sean Sykes. Sykes turns it up for 9 yards. Then on 2nd and 1 from the 37, the redshirt freshman got the call again, cuts outside for 4 more yards and a first down. Now 2nd and 10 from the 41, McKinney back to pass once again, throws for Andre Rogers, but State's Kirby Jackson steps in for the interception and returns it 15 yards to the 49-yard line. So the Bulldogs take over in good field position and quickly crank up the SEC's number 3 offense. Hank Phillips on the sweep here, good for 9 yards and a first down at the Ole Miss 35. Now 2nd and 4, and State's elusive quarterback Don Smith takes over, keeps on the option for 7 yards here down to the 22-yard line. Several plays later, first down at the 12, and Smith does it again. This time he gets 6 yards, Jeff Noblin on the stop. Now 3rd and 2 at the 4-yard line, the junior quarterback rolls left. Great fake right here and dives down to the 1-yard line. From there, Smith takes it in himself, so State quickly in the lead, but Coach Brewer was not worried.
I felt, you know, if when we came in this ball game, if our football team could maintain and hold on, because of the competition that we played, that we could play well.
And some good things did begin happening right away. Rebs couldn't move on the next possession, but Bill Smith got a beauty of a punt off, a 53-yarder. And on top of that, Mississippi State was called for clipping on the return, so the Dogs were starting in a big hole at the 9-yard line. The Rebs forced State to punt then, went for the block on this occasion, but were called for roughing the kicker, giving the Bulldogs a new first down at the 30-yard line. But right here, the Rebel defense rose up and began what would be a game full of big defensive plays for the Ole Miss Rebels. On this Mississippi State play, Lopez Jones, number 88, stopped Smith for no gain. Then Lopez once again comes in, charges and drops Smith for a 10-yard loss, and State had to punt it away.
For defense as a whole, we built up our confidence as the game went on. You know, after we started making big play after big play, we started trying to shut them down more. That makes everybody get fired up.
Well, we try to get our momentum, and then we try to get that feeling of we cannot be denied.
Rebs took over at their own 42 with freshman Mark Young now at quarterback. First down, Young throws to JR out of the backfield, gain of 10 yards, but State flagged for the late hit, 15 more, giving Ole Miss first down at the 33. One play later, can't get away from the rush. Mark drops for a loss of 8 yards to the 38. So 3rd and 15 from there. Young rolls left, lofts it deep to JR down the sideline. Hard to cover Ambrose man-to-man. JR hauls it in for the touchdown, and this game was all tied up, 7 apiece.
Well, you know, we worked on things in practice and coming out the backfield and stuff like that. And but they kind of surprised me. You know, they didn't cover, double cover like, and they tried to play me tough man. You know, I really like that. I like things like that. And everything worked out perfect.
You like to start, but it seemed like when I came off the bench, I could got a chance to see the defense and what they were running and all, and got a chance to run it through my head, and then got out there and did what the coaches asked me to do.
The 38-yard touchdown pass Mark Young to J.R. Ambrose closed out the first quarter scoring. Game tied 7-7. Now moving into the second quarter of play, second play right here. State having to punt. And sophomore Willie Goodlow for the Ole Miss Rebels will take it in around the 22-yard line. Get ready, folks. Watch this. A lot of room up the sideline. Willie heads for the daylight, turns in a 55-yard punt return all the way to the Mississippi State 24. Plus, as you'll see on the replay, the Dogs were flagged for another personal foul. Half the distance to the goal gave Ole Miss first down at the 12-yard line. On second down from the 12, Mark rolls out, looks for JR. He's covered, but he spots secondary receiver Jamie Holder for the touchdown, a 14-7 lead, Ole Miss.
JR, coming out in the flats, and we had a pick called on, and they really shoved JR and held him up down there, and I was fixing to turn up and run, and then I saw Jamie coming across and wide open, so I got it to him.
He was supposed to go to the guy on the outside, really. We practiced on it all week and threw it to the outside guy all week, and Mark started scrambling, and I broke across the middle, and he saw me and he hit me.
Now the Ole Miss defense was gathering even more momentum as well. This play a perfect example. Senior Jay Webb wrestled Smith down for a 3-yard loss, forcing the State Bulldogs to punt. A short punt gave Ole Miss the ball in Mississippi State territory. This second down, Joe Mickles busts through the line, high steps for 11 yards to the 32. From there, Young hooks up with Jamie Holder. Jamie with a super leaping catch right there at the sideline. And for the obvious late hit out of bounds, Mississippi State was handed its third personal foul penalty. Did you feel like that was on purpose? Were they playing dirty?
Oh, well, I don't know. I think they've played that way all year. They try to, I don't know, intimidate you or whatever. But, we played a good, clean, solid game, and we came out on top, and that's all that counted.
An illegal procedure penalty against Ole Miss moved the ball back to the 23, where Brian Owen kicked a 41-yard field goal to up the Rebels' lead to 17-7 midway through the second quarter of play. On the ensuing kick, State hit with another penalty, pushing them back to the 10. Third down from there. Smith throws back to Lewis Clark for 12 yards. First down at the 22. Next play, Smith will roll out to his right. Looks downfield, but Michael Portis charges in for the sack. Loss of 9 yards. Another penalty moves the Dogs back to the 8. Smith looking to throw once again. Back in the end zone. Gets it off, but it's broken up by the Rebels' Stevan Moore. State had to punt it away. Now, late in the second quarter of play, and J.R. Ambrose, the speedy wide receiver for Ole Miss, almost got the Rebels another payday. Right here, J.R. on the fly down the sideline. Young fires it downfield, but Ambrose can't quite haul it in. Next play, 3rd and 10. Mark drops back, finds Ricky Myers for 16 yards. Good diving catch. The drive stalls, though, and Mississippi State gets the ball one final time in the first half. But in the final seconds, Rebel defensive end Jay Webb puts on a one-man show. Here, the senior out of Columbus blocks this pass attempt by Don Smith. Next play, it's 3rd and 5, as you'll see the pass block on the replay. Smith will keep it up the middle this time, but he gets only a yard before Webb puts on the stop. So the Dogs are forced to punt from deep in their own territory again. Rebels go for the block, but are called for roughing the kicker. So State got a new first down and new life in this drive. But on the final play of the first half, Smith drops back to pass once again. The pocket collapses, and none other than Jay Webb on the sack once again.
Yeah, we just, before we went out there, we said to ourselves we couldn't let off of them. We've been having a pretty good day so far, and we knew that if we gave them some life going in at half, that we'd have more troubles in the second half.
So the first half of play ended with Ole Miss in the lead, 17-7. Now this week's halftime feature is on the Ole Miss seniors who were playing in their final Egg Bowl game against Mississippi State. Brett Brewer reports.
For 22 Rebel seniors, the Mississippi State game marks the end of a career. No more walks through the Grove or the wearing of the red and blue ever again. Some of these seniors reflect on their last game at Ole Miss.
I kind of have mixed emotions about it. Going to miss it. It's been something I've been doing all my life, and I think this is the end of it.
I think it'll be a big game for me. And the seniors, you know, the last game, they say it's the one you remember, so we're going to try to make it a good one to go out on.
It means a lot to me. I mean, I've been playing football since I was 6 years old, and sure, when I sit back and think about it, you know, it means a lot to you playing your last game. We got to go out with a win. That's the main thing.
I'm Brett Brewer, reporting for the Billy Brewer Show.
In the third quarter of play, the Rebels enjoyed an offensive explosion, scoring every time they touched the ball. Their first drive started at the 28. This is 3rd and 10 from there. Young hooks up with J.R. Ambrose. Play covers 13 yards to the 41. Now 2nd and 10 from there. Mark drops back again, slides the screen pass over to Sean Sykes. Good room ahead. Sean turns it into an 18-yard gain down to Mississippi State's 41. Next play, Sykes will keep it on the ground, sweeps to the left side for 12 more yards to the 29. And from there, senior tailback Nathan Wansley busts up the middle for 13 big yards down to the 16. 2 plays later, 3rd and 6 from the 12, back to pass. Young is dropped for a loss. The ball pops loose, but the officials ruled that he was already down, no fumble. After much argument from Mississippi State players, several unsportsmanlike conduct penalties were marked off against the Bulldogs, giving Ole Miss 1st and goal from the 3-yard line. What was going on down there?
I really don't know. I tried to keep the team back, and so we wouldn't get one, you know, let them get all they wanted. And, you know, that's what I was trying to do. I don't know what was said or anything like that, and, you know, don't care what was said. And, you know, I was just trying to keep the team back and keep us out of trouble down there.
On the next play from the 3-yard line, Nathan Wansley bulls over right guard for the touchdown, and the Ole Miss Rebels had a 24-7 lead. Wansley, the senior out of Moss Point, his first of 2 touchdowns on the day. And the next time Ole Miss got the ball, it was 7 more points. From the MSU 38, Young rolled out, connected with J.R. Ambrose for a 21-yard gain to the 17. Then Willie Goodlow in at running back breaks over right tackle for 8 yards down to the 9. And 1 play later, Wansley bulls up the middle again for his 2nd straight touchdown. And Ole Miss held a 31-7 advantage over Mississippi State with 6:43 left in the 3rd quarter of play. So the Rebel offense was capitalizing on the good field position the defense provided, something the offense hadn't always done this year. Here, Young completes a 31-yard pass to Ricky Myers down the sideline. Now 2nd and 7 from the 21. Mark rolls out and turns it up for 4 yards himself, but a Mississippi State personal foul and an offsides penalty moves the ball down to the 4-yard line. Willie Goodlow takes it in from there. The Rebels' third straight touchdown in the third quarter increases their lead to 38-7.
Well, I knew that we could beat them because, you know, everybody was sort of, you know, hyped up because all the talk that they had read in the media and stuff. And, you know, that made me feel good, you know, to see everybody up and stuff. So I knew we'd at least get after them real good.
Now toward the end of the third quarter, Mississippi State on the drive. Don Smith scrambles left, throws back to Patton, far side, good for 16 yards to the Bulldogs 43. Next play, it's 3rd and 3. Smith drops back again, then turns it up himself up the sideline for 17 yards to the Ole Miss 40. Those two plays showed why Don Smith was the SEC's total offense leader. But on the day, the Rebel D contained him very well, holding him to 100 yards below his average. Howard Moss charged in for the sack here. And next play, Smith scrambles around, but he's brought down by Fuzzy Huddleston with a lot of help from his friends.
I was delighted with the play of our defense to handle a kid like Don Smith. I don't know any stats on the thing, but they contained him well.
The stats on Smith are 188 yards passing, but a minus 12 yards rushing. So at the end of the third quarter, the Ole Miss Rebels are on top 38-7. Now, midway through the final quarter, Mississippi State with the ball from the Ole Miss 26. Smith swings it out to Patton, who turns it up for 9 yards. First down from the 14. Smith rolled out, hit freshman Marcus Bush for a 7-yard gain to the 7. Several plays later, Smith took it in himself. 2-point conversion, no good. 38-13 to score. On the Rebels' next possession, they were forced to punt from deep in their own territory. Mississippi State got the block and took over at the Ole Miss 34-yard line. First down, Smith drops back, completes the pass to James Bloodworth, good for 33 yards all the way down to the 1. Next play, Smith sneaks it in again himself. 2-point conversion good this time. The score was 38-21 in favor of Ole Miss. Now with less than 4 minutes to go in the game, Sean Sykes leads the Rebels on an insurance drive. Sykes gets 8 yards across midfield to the MSU 45. Now 2nd and 11 from the 41. Sean gets the nod again, comes up with a nice 38-yard scamper down to the 5-yard line. Steps out of bounds there. Sykes was the Rebels' leading rusher with 72 yards on the day. So 3rd and go from the 3. Sykes takes it over right side and in for the touchdown. Mississippi State gets one more TD themselves. Final score 45-27. Ole Miss capturing its 3rd straight Egg Bowl win over Mississippi State.
7 seconds left. The crowd counts it down. The season is over. And once again, the Golden Egg will stay in the hands of the Rebels of Ole Miss. The game is over. The Rebels win.
In the locker room after Saturday's Egg Bowl win over Mississippi State, Coach Brewer asked for a round of applause for all the graduating seniors who provided the good leadership. We talked with Jamie Holder and Jay Webb about their final Egg Bowl win, and we talked with Coach Brewer about what this victory will mean.
I feel great. I've won it 4 out of the 5 years that I've been here, and it's been great. And I just like to thank the good Lord because it's been great 5 years for me at the University of Mississippi.
How do you feel right now?
Really, I don't know. You ask me 3 weeks from now, and I might just break down and cry. I really don't know what I'm feeling right now. I'll miss these guys. I'll miss this team. We've got a lot of class here. I felt like we showed it this week, and I know that this team's going to be successful because they're surrounded and coached by successful people.
What does this mean?
Well, it certainly, hopefully, gives us an excellent opportunity to go into the spring and the next season with good, solid thoughts, very positive thoughts, an excellent an opportunity to go in the recruiting year. And they endured and went through a tough schedule, very tough circumstances, maintained composure throughout all of it, and we had to come back with inexperienced players to play, and many times on national television, and but they still never would give up. I mean, they'd get you could beat them down some, but they got a great heart, and they just will determine not to ever give up.
So congratulations to Rebel head coach Billy Brewer, his staff, and all the Ole Miss Rebels for the victory over Mississippi State. Final score 45-27. It was Ole Miss's third straight Egg Bowl win over Mississippi State. The victory for 1985 wraps up the Rebels' season record at 4-6-1. The tough schedule will be long remembered, of course. All 6 losses in 1985 were to teams ranked in the top 20 at some time during the season. So that'll wrap it for 1985. Much thanks goes to many people, to Coach Brewer, his staff, and all the Rebels. To the many people that have worked hard to put together this show for you, we appreciate you for watching week in and week out. And so for 1985, that's a wrap. I'm Ken Anderson, and we will see you on the Billy Brewer Show in 1986.
The Billy Brewer Show has been brought to you by Coca-Cola, Bryan Foods, Borden Dairy Products, and Mississippi Chemical.
Brought to you locally by McCarty Holman, Deerfield Country Club, Pro Golf, Ridley's Barbecue, Lennox, Pioneer Chainsaws, Kentucky Fried Chicken, and Dennery's Restaurant.